Good morning, students. Welcome to computer class. In this class, I would like to teach programs based on looping control structures. This is the first video for the programs in this chapter. Shall we start our class? In the last video, I taught interconversion of the loops, and before that, I taught the syntaxes and working of the loops. Now I am going to teach programs based on these loops. In these loops, we have two types of programs. Based on these looping control structures, we have two types of programs. Those are number programs and series programs. First one is number programs and series programs. Now I would like to finish the number programs. We have 8 number programs in these looping control structures. Those number programs are, the first one is prime number, second one is perfect number, third one is composite number, fourth one is palindrome number, fifth one is strong number, and the last one is Armstrong number. These are the 6 programs we are going to learn. In this video, I would like to teach the first two programs, prime number and perfect number. Shall we start our class? The first program is prime number. The first program is prime number. Before going to write these programs, children, take your pen and notebooks, write very neatly. First of all, write down the question. After that, write down the definition. After that, write down the explanation. After explanation, you have to write the program. Put the heading program and write the program. At last, you have to write the output. The explanation is no need to write. You just write this explanation at the margin only. No need to write along with the program. Children, note down this and write very neatly because these programs are coming in the 10th standard also. Put your mind and write very neatly. The first program is write a program to check whether the given number is prime or not. The given number is prime or not. If we entered a number, we have to check that number is prime or not. First of all, what is the definition of the prime number? What is a prime number? Here we have the definition. A number which is having 1 and itself as factors is known as prime number. A number which is having 1 and itself as factors, those numbers are called prime numbers. In this program, what we have to do, we have to take a number as input and we have to find the number of factors for the given number and check this the given number is prime or not. Prime or not. Not. That's what we are doing in the program. Now, I would like to teach the variable description for this program. Variable description. Put the heading variable description. And this variable description, you just draw the lines with a pen only. Don't use pencil. Draw the lines with a pen You have to draw 3 columns and the rows are needed for the variables. The first column is variable name and the second column is data type and the third column is description. In this program, I am using only 3 variables. The first one is n. N is an integer type data to store an integer number, and then next one is I. I is an integer to store the control variable of for loop, and F. F is an integer type data to store the number of factors of a number. The number of factors of a number. These are the 3 variables we are using in the program. Now come to the program. The program is, put the heading program and write very neatly. Hash include stdio.h. Why we are including this header file? To run the functions printf and scanf. And hash include conio.h. We are including these header files to run the functions conio.h and getch function. CLR SCR function and getch function. Now void main open brackets int n comma I comma f is equal to 0. We are initializing the variable f with 0. Next, CLRS here, printf, enter any number. Here we are taking the input from the end users. That's why we have to write the scanf function. Scanf %d ampersand n means we are taking an integer from the end users, because we have written here %d, that is the type conversion of integer type data. Now continuation for this program. We have written the input part in the previous slide. In this slide, we are writing the calculation part. That is, for I is equal to 1 and I is less than n and I plus plus. We are checking the factors from 1 to n. Means 1 to the given number. అంటే మనకిచ్చిన నెంబర్ వరకు 1 నుంచి n వరకు ఎన్ని ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఉన్నాయో కనుక్కోవాలి. ఇచ్చిన నెంబర్కి ఎన్ని ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఉన్నాయో కనుక్కోవాలి. ఒకవేళ అది ప్రైమ్ నెంబర్ అయితే కనుక 1 అండ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్, అవి 2 మాత్రమే ఫ్యాక్టర్స్గా ఉండాలి. అంటే ఎన్ని ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఉండాలి? ఓన్లీ 2 ఫ్యాక్టర్స్. If more than 2 are there, that is not a prime number. Let us check whether the given number is having more than 2 factors or not. Okay. Now open brackets. If n mod I is equal to 0. The meaning of this statement is, if the given number is divided by the I variable, because the value of the I is incremented by each time when the iteration completes. If the given number is divided by the I, then I is the factor of the given number. Then we will increase the value of the factors. Number of factors we are saving in f. That's why we have written here f is equal to f plus 1. Now closure brackets. Then what is the condition for the prime numbers? Factors are only 2. 1 and itself. Only 2 factors it having. Then we have to print the given number is prime. If f is equal to 2, print f, f right here, print f, the given number is a prime number. Else, print f, the given number is not a prime number. Closed bracket. This is the program for prime number. In this program, we are checking the given number is prime or not. Now, how it will execute the for loop? How it will execute the for loop? I would like to explain that one also. Explanation. Enter any number. After CLR as a here, we have written one printf statement. In that printf statement, in the double quotations, what we have written, enter any number. Here we are the end users giving any one number, suppose 7. Then how it will execute? The initial value of I is 1 and 1 is less than or equal to 7. That condition is true. That's why it comes into the body. Now what is the condition there? 7 mod I means the value of I is 1. 7 mod 1 is equal to 0. That is true. Means 1 divides the number 7. That's why that condition is true. That's why it increases the value of f. The initial value of f is 0 plus 1. That is equal to the final value of f is 1. This iteration completed. Then the compiler increments the value of I. The value of initial value of I is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. I is equal to 2. Next, the second iteration started with the new value of I. That is equal to I is equal to 2. 2 is less than or equal to 7. That is also true. 7 mod 2 is equal to 0. This is false. That's why the control doesn't increase the value of f and just go to the next loop with the new value of I, that is 3. The new value of I is 3. 3 is less than or equal to 7. That is true. And the next condition is 7 mod 3 is equal to 0. 3 doesn't divides the number 7. That's why that condition is true. The compiler doesn't increases the value of f and just increases the value of I and go to the next iteration with the new value of I. Now the value of I is 4. 4 is less than or equal to 7. That is also true. 7 mod 4 is equal to 0. False. That's why it doesn't increases the value of f and it just increases the value of I. The new value of I is 5 and it go to the next iteration. I is equal to 5. 5 is less than or equal to 7. That is also true. Now 7 mod 5 is equal to 0. 5 did not divides the number 7. That's why this condition is true. That's why the control doesn't increase the value of f and just go to the next iteration with the new value of I, that is 6. I is equal to 6. 6 is less than or equal to 7. That is also true. And 7 mod 6 is equal to 0. This condition is also false. That's why the compiler doesn't increases the value of f and next go to the next iteration with the new value of I is equal to 7. 7 mod 7, 7 is less than or equal to 7. That is true. Now 7 mod 7 is equal to 0. That is true. That's why it increases the value of f, that is already the new value of f is 1, here plus 1. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. The new value of f is 2 and I is equal to 3. Now the compiler go to the next iteration with the new value of f. I is equal to 8. 8 is less than or equal to, here write 7. 8 is less than or equal to 7. That is false. That's why it just comes out of the for loop. When it comes out of the for loop, the final value of f is 2. Once observe here, the factors of the 7 are true, then only the compiler increases the value of f. ఇక్కడ 1తో డివైడ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇది 1 అనేది 7కి ఫ్యాక్టర్ అయింది కాబట్టి ఆ ఫ్యాక్టర్ అనేది ఇంక్రిమెంట్ అయింది. లాస్ట్ ఇటరేషన్కి వచ్చేసరికి 7 అనేది 7కి ఫ్యాక్టర్ కాబట్టి అక్కడ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ నెంబర్ అనేది ఇంక్రీజ్ అయింది. మధ్యలో ఏ నెంబర్తో డివైడ్ చేసినా కానీ 7 అనేది డివైడ్ అవ్వదు కాబట్టి అది ఫ్యాక్టర్ కాదు కాబట్టి అది ఇంక్రీజ్ అవ్వలేదు. దిస్ ఈజ్ ద వర్కింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఫర్ లూప్ ఇన్ ప్రైమ్ నెంబర్స్. నౌ finally, what is the output? F is equal to 2. When the compiler comes out of the for loop, the final value of the final value of f is 2. 2 is equal to 2. This condition is true. That's why it just prints 7 is a prime number. Here 2 colors are here. The yellow one you have to write as the output and the blue one is you just write in the margin. This is the explanation only. Now come to the next program, that is second one, perfect number. Write a program to check whether the given number is perfect or not. Whether the given number is perfect or not. What is a perfect number? The definition is here. A number is said to be perfect if the sum of the factors including 1 and excluding itself is the same as the original number. A number is said to be perfect if the sum of its factors. Here also we have to find out the factors of the given number, but including 1, excluding itself. We have to add the factors of a given number including 1 and excluding itself. If we add these factors, then it comes as the same, the original number. That number is called a perfect number. For example, 6 is there. What are the factors of the 6? 1, 2, 3. We did not add the 6. Only 1, 2, 3. If we add 1 plus 2 plus 3, what is the final value? 6. The 6 is equal to the sum of its factors. That's why 6 is called a perfect number. Here, example is here. The factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3. Then 1 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 6. That's why 6 is a perfect number. In this program, what we have to do? We have to take a number as the input and find the sum of the factors of the given number and check at last perfect or not. Now come to the variable description. In this program, I have used 3 variables. N is an integer type data to store an integer, and I is an integer type data to store the control variable of the for loop, and sum is an integer type data to store the sum of the factors of the given number. And the next one is program. Put the heading program and write down the program very neatly. Hash include stdio.h. We are including this header file to run the functions printf and scanf, and hash include conio.h. We are including this header file to run the functions clr, scr and getch functions, and void main open braces int n comma I comma sum is equal to 0. We are initializing the variable sum with 0 and CLR is here. Here we are printing enter any number. The printf function display the message which is included between the double quotations. And scanf. We are taking a number from the end users, that is the integer type data, and is stored in the variable n. Now come to the execution part, that is calculating part. What we have to calculate here, we have to find out the factors of the given number. Same as logic as the prime numbers logic here also. For I is equal to 1 and I is less than n only. Don't write I less than or equal to. We did not add the number itself. That's why we just write I is less than n and I plus plus open braces. If n mod I is equal to 0, sum is equal to sum plus I. Here we have to add the factors. In the previous program, that is a prime number program, we are counting the factors, but here we are adding the factors. There counting the factors, and this program adding the factors. That's why sum is equal to sum plus I. అంటే ఈ సమ్లో మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం, ఆ నంబర్ యొక్క ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ అన్నిటిని యాడ్ చేస్తున్నాం ఒక్కోటి. అప్పుడు ఫైనల్గా వెళ్ళేసరికి ఈ సమ్ అనేది ఇచ్చిన నెంబర్కి ఈక్వల్ అవ్వాలన్నమాట. అప్పుడు మాత్రమే అది పర్ఫెక్ట్ నెంబర్ అవుతుంది. జస్ట్ సి closure brackets. Now we are writing the given number is perfect or not. If n is equal to sum, n is equal to sum means the given number is equal to sum of its factors. In the sum, what we have added the factors of the given number. The number is equal to the sum of its factors. Then what we have to print, the given number is a perfect number. Else printf, the given number is not a perfect number. Closed brackets. This is the logic behind prime and perfect numbers. Only just a difference. There we have to write f is equal to f plus 1. Here sum is equal to sum plus I. That is the difference between prime and perfect numbers. Remaining all is same. Now I would like to explain this one also. How it will execute. Same logic and same explanation only. Explanation is enter any number. I have entered 6 and I is equal to 1. In the first iteration, the value of I is 1. 1 is less than 6. That is true. 6 mod I is equal to 0. This is also true. That's why sum is equal to sum plus I. Here we are adding every factor. In the previous program, we count the number of factors, but here we are adding the factors. The initial value of sum is 0 plus 1, that is equal to sum is equal to 1, I is equal to 2. The second iteration started with the new value of I, that is equal to 2. 2 is less than 6. This is also true. 6 mod 2 is equal to 0. This condition is also true. That's why we just add that factor with the previous value of the sum. In the previous iteration, the value of sum is 1 plus here the factor is 2. That's why 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Now it increases the value of 5 and it just go to the next iteration with the new value of 5, that is equal to 3. 3 is less than 6. This is also true. Now 6 mod 3 is equal to 0. This is also true. That's why we have to add that one with the previous value of the sum. In the previous iteration, the value of sum is 3 plus here the factor of the given number is 3. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. The new value of sum is 6 and it increases the value of the I 4. and the controller just go to the next iteration with the new value. I is equal to 4. 4 is less than less than 6. That is true. 6 mod 4 is equal to 0. That condition is false. 6 mod 4 is equal to 0. That is false. That's why it doesn't add these 4 to the sum and just increases the value of the I to 5 and come to the next iteration. I is equal to 5. 5 is less than 6. That is true. 6 mod 5 is equal to 0. This condition is false. That's why it doesn't add 5 to the sum and go to the next iteration with the new value of 5, that is 6. 6 less than 6. This condition is false. The compiler just comes out of the for loop. When it comes out of the for loop, what is the final value of sum? 6. Now, here we have one conditional statement, that is n is equal to sum. The given value n is 6 is equal to sum. The final value of sum is 6. 6 is equal to 6 is true. That's why it prints 6 is a perfect number. Children, put your mind to understand. Write very neatly. First, write down the questions, next definition, and then explanation, next variable description. For variable description, you just use pen only, don't use pencils. If you draw with pencil, no marks will be given. That's why use pen only. Then put the heading program and write the program very neatly. Then write the output also. Explanation you just write in the margin of the page. Subscribe this channel to get the notifications. Children, write very neatly. Put your mind. These are we are using in the 10th standard also. Thank you and have a nice day.